Well, that brings us to our last game that we are going to discuss, the Green Bay Packers going into Philly, and I just don't feel confident, man. I just don't feel like the Packers have what it takes. Jordan Love is
a roller coaster?
The biggest question mark. It's like if the Jags were a quarterback, that's kind of how I feel. It's just up and down. He has these stellar games or these absolute bomb throws dialed in on a rope, laser beams, and then he plays games where he looks like he shouldn't even be the starting quarterback sometimes.
Yes.
This game or this team is, and their success is predicated on Josh Jacobs, not Jordan Love. This team has to have Jacobs perform well for them to win a football game. And when it's resting on Jordan Love's shoulders, it's most of the time it spells trouble. Jordan Love, when he has no pressure and they're playing an even game, or even if they're a little bit ahead, he can hit those throws, man. But it's when he gets that pressure on him, he just freezes up, And I think that's a huge issue for Green Bay. And they're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, man. By the way, one of the guys on the Philadelphia Eagles is a contestant for the MVP. That's trouble for Green Bay. Green Bay is not the greatest in rushing defense. They're not the greatest in passing defense. I don't know what they're going to do. I think this game, I know that the spread right now is only 4.5. I think it could get really out of hand for Green Bay, especially going into the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth.
I think Green Bay has a better rush defense than you give them credit for. I looked at how
not
the
against
top
Saquon
10,
Barkley,
but I agree, and it does feel like sometimes they do get torched. It feels like sometimes they get guys that break one open against them. I kind of disagree with everything you said, but agree with the conclusion you drew. So it's interesting how we get there. You were saying when you have to rely on Jordan Love, to make a play, that's bad news. I don't know if I necessarily agree. What I kind of feel like the problem for Jordan Love has been his slow starts. It feels like to me, they come out of the gate slow. He doesn't make plays in the first half. And then in the third and fourth quarter, he just has to start cutting it loose. And yeah, he throws a couple lasers and makes some plays there and then throws a pick or two as well. That's kind of the Jordan Love experience. Well, I was really high on Green Bay earlier this season. You know me, I picked them to make it to the Super Bowl. In the NFC, they were the team I was high on. But I just didn't think they would be this inconsistent. You are dead on when you say that their offense runs through Josh Jacobs. He has to have a giant game. And against that Eagles defensive front, especially with Jalen Carter just wrecking everyone that comes near him, it's not just Jalen Carter, though. Zach Bond, who has been a player of the year candidate, he's been incredible. Vic Fangio has that Eagles defense dialed in right now. I don't see Green Bay having a lot of success against this Philadelphia defense. On the flip side, could I see the Green Bay defense shut down Philly's offense? To an extent, I could see that happening. However, I think when push comes to shove, I don't know. We haven't seen anyone all year be able to stop Saquon Barkley. I don't think it's going to start now. I like Green Bay. They were my pick to make it to the Super Bowl. But if you made me bet on this game, I've got to ride with Philadelphia. I'm worried about Jalen Hurts. I assume he's going to be back and the concussion thing's going to be cleared. But if he's not, that could be an issue. Either way, I just feel like Philadelphia is such a more complete team than Green Bay. Green Bay has to have a lot of things go their way to win. It feels like Philly can take whatever you throw at them and turn that to their advantage.
Yeah, and Philadelphia, they've been here, done this. That's another thing you can't forget is they've made it to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. So,
and I think they still got a chip on their shoulder about the way last year finished, about the collapse down the stretch. I think, say what we want, I'm not a big Sirianni fan, but ultimately the guy wins games. And I think the way the season collapsed last year and then that playoff loss to Tampa, it all fell apart. They've been building and building to get bounced out of this game. I'll tell you this, if the Eagles lose this game, Sirianni might not be safe because it feels like they are, destined for a date with Detroit in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, if they lose this game, they may give Sirianni a call while he's still taking a shower like they did Mayo today.
Yeah, no kidding. Gerard Mayo was still in the locker room, and then he was like, wait, why don't y'all take my keys off my belt?